Uh, Good morning. This morning, I wanted to submit my 3.4 assignment for EDL 721 with Dr. Nixon. This week, we were talking about religion in public schools, and we were asked to create an infographic. So here is my infographic, which I created. I did religion in public school. How did we get to where we are today? And I started, as per the instructions, with the Scopes trial, and I made a listing of 8 Supreme Court decisions that kind of changed the trajectory of American education from 1925 up until present day. All right, certainly not all of the decisions, but some of the ones that I researched and found were the major ones. And in my paper, which I will submit to Dr. Nixon, I will cite all the references here. But most of them I got from our class text, the Polanski text. And I also went on to Encyclopedia Britannica.com, which I found really, really helpful for this, because it was in the Britannica, but then they allowed sections to be written by other authors that had done research on the projects. So I will submit a reference page with this as well, but I did put my sightings at the end of each decision. So let's get right into it. Okay. Number one is the Scopes trial, 1925. The Scopes trial was named for a high school teacher in Tennessee, John Scopes. He was charged with violating the state law by teaching Darwin's theory of evolution. And this was also called the monkey trial. And the people in the area, apparently from my reading, enjoyed that the trial was there because it brought a lot of business and commerce to the area. But in the realm of education, uh, it's found that Scopes violated the state law by teaching Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. The trial's proceedings helped to bring the scientific evidence for evolution into the public sphere. My information was garnered through Encyclopedia Britannica online. So let's move from 25 to 47. Let's look at the Everson Board of Education 1947 trial. And again, there's so much more to this. I'm just giving you a little synopsis. This case was fascinating to read because the judgment in this case really set the precedent for further cases after that. So if you're really looking, if you're really enjoying these court cases, or you want to learn more about how things have changed, this Everson one was fascinating to me. The Supreme Court ruled that using state funds to reimburse their parents for the cost of transporting children to the religious schools did not violate the Establishment Clause of the American Constitution. All right, so I did get that from the Nelson text on page 117. Followed up a year later by McCollum versus the Board of Ed, 1948. It's a case in which the U.S. Supreme Court, March 8th, 1948, ruled 8-1 that an Illinois public school board had violated the First Amendment Establishment Clause. So we're going back to the Establishment Clause that was uh, referred to in the 1947 case here, when it allowed religious instruction during school hours and on school property. So I got that from Van Patten through the Encyclopedia Britannica. Then we move over a couple years, move up 14 years to 1962. Engel versus Vital. Neither classroom prayer nor Bible readings were constitutional, even when the students had the option of being excused from the participation. Uh, Again, from the Nelson text. Lemon versus Kurtzman in 1971. So we'll move up 9 more years. And again, this is another, just like the second one, the Everson case that I had brought up. The Lemon one, fascinating. I spent a good deal of time reading about this because from this Lemon versus Kurtzman, you come up with the Lemon test. Uh, the judgment created the Lemon test, in quotes, to be constitutional. A policy or activity supported by a school would need to have three things: have secular purpose, not have the effect of advancing or inhibiting religion, and three, avoid excessive entanglement between government and religion. Lots of information in that Lemon decision there. So again, going back to number two, Everson versus the board, and the Lemon versus Kurtzman, really chock full information. I felt that I could have just done a project just on those two alone and still not had enough time to get it all done. Then we'll move up into 1980. So fast forward 9 years. Stone versus Graham, 1980, a case in which the court ruled 5-4 that a Kentucky statute requiring school officials to post a copy of the Ten Commandments on a wall in every public classroom violated the First Amendment's Establishment Clause again. So again, I think one of the things that we want to look into after we do these, I think we should go back into the Constitution and look into the Establishment Clause, again tying into the Everson case as well, because as you can see, after it was mentioned in the Everson case, again we saw it pop up a few times through the course of this educational journey that we're taking. Really, really amazing stuff here. And then let's go to the last two, moving to 1992, Lee versus Weissman. Even when offered by a private individual with no formal connection to the school and or the government, prayer during a public school graduation ceremony is now considered unconstitutional. And finally, number 8, moving into 2000, Santa Fe versus Jane Doe in 2000, a 6-3 ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that a Texas school board policy that allowed student led, this is important, student initiated prayer before varsity high school football games was a violation of the First Amendment's Establishment Clause. So again, reference, I think this is the fourth time that it was referred out of my 8 decisions, the Establishment Clause, which generally would prohibit the government from establishing, advancing, or giving favor to any religion. So again, you're seeing the Establishment Clause listed a couple times here. So hopefully, as a follow up, we can delve into a couple of these um, decisions, and we can also delve more into the Establishment Clause of the Constitution, and again go back to the Everson 1947 case, and I think that's where the trajectory all sort of changed ways. All right, thank you for your time. I do appreciate it.